So, activity here about how would you tell somebody how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Okay. Think about the sequence of that. All right. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms and take 5 to 10 minutes and think about it, talk about it, because when we come back together, we're going to analyze what you guys came up with. So in each breakout room, decide who's going to write down the steps, okay? All right, pick somebody to write the steps down. Let me find out where breakout rooms are.
I think the ones with like the shapes on the top. Yeah.
Chat with everybody. Oh, yeah, there it is. That's right. Yeah, they just added it not too long ago. So I'm like, all right, breakout rooms. There we go. All right, so I just put you in rooms. So see what room you're in. See who's there. All right. And start your conversations. You can unmute and speak low, all right? Or you can type to each other in chat, all right? Can you guys open a Jamboard on your own? All right, so let me give you a little bit of given information. Your given is the bread is on the counter. You have a dish on the counter. The peanut butter and jelly are on the counter. And you have the knives to spread the peanut butter and the jelly. And you got a napkin. We want to be neat, right? Okay. That's your given information. So all that stuff is already on the counter for you. And you're going to come in and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. All right. That's right. I'm gonna end the breakout room in a minute. All right. All right. So I ended the breakout room, and everybody should be in the main room within a minute or so, I guess. We'll see how long that takes for everybody's face to appear on my screen. All right. So you're given, like we're doing now with proofs, right? You're given. All that stuff is on the counter. So, step one. Then, from your breakout room, what was the first thing you're going to do to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Get the peanut butter.
Shut your voice off. What do you do first?
Get the peanut butter jelly bread on the.
It's on the counter, right? That's your given information. All your stuff is on the counter. What do you do next? You're in the same group. That's Sarah.
You open up the peanut butter. Like, twist it back on.
Okay. All right. I'll go with that. You can open the jar first. Go ahead. Well, now what do you do? Who's in another breakout room? I'll leave.
Put the knife in the peanut butter and on the bread.
The bread's still in the bag.
Oh. So
how do I put the peanut butter? Do you want me to just spread the peanut butter on the bag?
Oh, I thought it was like on the.
Oh no, the bag of bread is on the counter.
Okay, so take 2 slices of bread out.
right, next breakout room. You got the bread. Take 2 slices of bread and put on dish. How's that? Put it on your plate. Go ahead. Next breakout room. What do you do now? What's different, Jonathan? You're in a different breakout room? Can I spread the peanut butter yet? The jar is only open. Ah. So I have to take the knife. On both sides of the bread or just one? Oh. All right, now we're moving along.
Open the jelly.
Grape jelly, strawberry, what do you use?
Strawberry. Take out the knife and spread the jelly on the other slice of.
Okay. All right, then what do you do next? What do you do next? So I have jelly over here. I got peanut butter on this half. Now what do you do? Joe, what do you do next?
You take the bread with the peanut butter and put it together with the bread with jelly. So that the peanut butter and jelly are
So you're gonna put your sandwich together. Now's the big question. Do you cut it or not? Are we cutting it or not? I'll try. I didn't say how we're gonna cut it. Let's just say, are we cutting or not?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we're gonna cut it.
Put it in front.
Are you cutting it in triangles because this is geometry?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. So the origin of this goes back a number of years. I was invited I went to graduate school at St. John's, and professors there invited me to come back to the Graduate School of Education. And it was a lecture hall, about 120 or so graduate students. And they wanted me to talk about lesson planning and how you have to be sequential and how you have to take students through things in a logical order. So I showed up with a bag of bread, a jar of peanut butter, a jar of jelly, some knives, paper plate, and I asked for volunteers. And this one guy volunteered, and I almost felt bad for him, almost. Now, these are graduate students, right? So I take him through this exercise to illustrate how you have to do things with students, right? You got to start at point A and logically sequence through so students know how to think, they know how to process through problems, right? And he, says, take the bread out of the bag. I do that. Then he says, spread the peanut butter on the jar. And I'm stabbing the lid of the jar with the knife. He says, what are you doing? I said, well, you never told me to open the jar. You can't get the peanut butter out of the jar until you open it, right? Now, if we look back to what we did the other day, didn't we talk about you can't say all right angles are congruent until you've proven you have right angles? Does it make sense now? This is the logical sequential thinking you need to do to go from point A to the solution to your problem. Okay? Some things are dependent upon other steps, right? So I can't take the peanut butter out of the jar unless I open it. So the step of spreading the peanut butter is dependent upon the one before it opening the jar, right? Make sense? That's why the vocabulary of what we're doing is so important. Because if you understand that a median connects a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side, right? That's different than an altitude or a perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector, by definition, divides a line segment into two equal pieces, right? But the median intersects with a midpoint. Now it's the vocabulary of a midpoint. It divides a line segment into two congruent halves, right? So if you know the vocab and you follow the vocabulary through, it leads you through the sequential steps. So if you're not sure where you're going, think back about, how do I take the peanut butter out of the jar if I don't open the jar? So the step you're talking about has to have something above it. Okay? Questions? By the way, does everybody here like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? All right. Now let's get back to today's classwork.